Hello everyone, Hunter Spell here, back with another EDH guide. We're back on track with the uh, Elder Dragons from Strixhaven. This time taking a look at the white-black one, Shadrix Silver Quill. So this is kind of a politics card, but we can make it not so politics and more beneficial towards us. Uh, But anyways, so this thing can create tokens, bump up our army, and cause players to draw cards and lose life. Well, at least a single player. Anyways, they're going to be utilizing all of these modes in most situations. So let's begin with Torgar, Famine, and Incarnate to have someone's life total, and it's going to be easy to cast since we'll be able to create tokens with our commander. Dread Return, again, utilize our tokens to put a flashback cost, first of all, and second of all, this can get something back so we can get our commander back, and then we don't have to pay commander tax. And that thing, and Shadrix Silver Quill on its own is pretty expensive, like 5 mana, that's not cheap, exactly. Our first of block thing, because the tokens we create are black, so they will trigger Iara, and they can be sacrificed to draw cards. Ob Nixilis reignited, since we can target other players to draw cards, we can have them lose life after drawing cards. Well, lose even more life as they're drawing cards. We can also draw ourselves some more cards within a turn. It costs a little more life. Honor of the Pure, since our Inklings are also white creatures, they get +1/+1 because of this. True Conviction to give all of our stuff double strike and lifelink. These are all gold main, since we're kind of making army at a rate, slow rate, but not too bad. Can help us close out the game if need be. Sepharis, Sky's Blade, because the tokens we are able to create with our commander have flying, so we cast her for very cheap, and then suddenly all of our flyers have indestructible. Well, our other flyers except for her. Spirit Bonds, to essentially give something indestructible if need be, but also to take advantage of like us playing a good amount of non-token creatures in here. Divine Visitation to turn our 2/1s into 4/4s with flying and vigilance. Zathra Demon isn't that bad. It's actually pretty good because we can keep this fed. We can keep this fed up, and we won't have to like eventually end up losing some life and tapping Zathra Demon. Instead, with us being able to create our tokens, we can continuously chip away at life totals. Demon of Death's Gate, because it's going to be easy to cast, because we're going to have 3 black creatures and more than 6 life to pay. So this could be an easy 9/9 with flying and trample. Razaketh, to make use of our tokens once again, to get more stuff that we need. Revive Reaver Demon, I have no idea. To just destroy everything except for our tokens and our commander. For the most part. Daxos Blessed by the Sun for when our stuff dies and enters the battlefield. Excuse me. To gain its life, of course. Linden, since once again our Inklings are white and black, so they will cause her to trigger when they attack. Paragon of New Dawns, again, white creatures don't have to explain much. Bashry's Lieutenant, since we can buff up our entire board with plus counters, we'll be getting 2/2 knights when our creatures start dying. It's a +1/+ counters on them. Of course, Bashry Devoted Paladin, to buff up at least one creature and give it vigilance. buff up creatures when they attack for a turn, on your turn, of course, or -6, of course, creatures you control get +2/+2 in game. Flying until end turn, possibly close out the game. Bastard Cat, to give something indestructible and put a +++ counter on it. Create some tokens when we attack with non-token creatures, or to give us an emblem that creates this a token and buffs up our army at the beginning of combat on our turn. A Johnny Steadfast, to bump up our planeswalkers and put counters onto our creatures. Can also be used to, until end of turn, give one of our creatures +1/+1, lifelink, vigilance, and first strike. And then, of course, the ultimate could end up saving us. Could be the difference between life and death, definitely. A Johnny Wise Counselor, give us some life, bump up our creatures, or could seriously buff up one singular creature due to us having a lot of life. A Johnny Strength of the Pride, to give us again more life, create us a token that gets bigger every time we gain life, or can just outright wipe our opponent's boards. Angelic Skirmisher, to buff up our creatures with keyword effects. Path of Bravery, to give us life when we attack and to buff up our creatures when they attack. Cathar's Crusade, to put ++ counters on all of our stuff. Bad Moon, to give our Inklings even more power and toughness. Archfiend of Misery, Depravity, to control our opponent's boards. Aili, Eternal Pilgrim, to give us some life and to possibly kill something. Exile something. Vishkal, Blood Arbiter. This is a creature that can grow really fast, and thanks to lifelink and all those counters combined on this card, give us a lot of life, so get us out of a bad situation, or can kill something. And since it's -1/-1 sort of effects, this means it is capable of killing an indestructible creature. Teysa Karlov, to give our creature tokens vigilance and lifelink, and to double up on dying triggers for when we have those. Fallacy, Reverent Medium, to give us even more tokens. Teysa Orzhov Scion, so we can sacrifice 3 of our Inklings and exile target creature. And for whenever our black creatures, a non-token black creature we control dies, we get 1/1 white flyer. Kambal, Console of Allocation, I think. To tax people with life and give us life. Ethereal Absolution, to mitigate, I guess, our opponent's boards and buff up our own, and can get rid of scary stuff in the graveyard. So if your opponent may be planning to play a reanimate spell, like Rise from the Dark Realms, or Rise of the Dark Realms, I think it is, I don't know, or Living Death, you can exile something beforehand and get a 1/1. Smothering Tide, to help us with mana. Requiem Angel, since our Inklings are, of course, Inklings and non-spirit creatures, when they die, we will create 1/1 white spirits. Luminous Angel, to create more spirits, because why not? Annotated Procession, to double up the number of spirits we make, or Inklings, I should say. Spirit of the Spires, to give our flying creatures +1/+1. Elite Scale Guard, since we are able to buff up our board with ++ counters, we'll be able to tap creatures on our opponent's side down. Since whenever a creature we control attacks, as you can see, if it has a ++ counter on it, of course, tap target creature defending player control. So this can actually help us close out the game. Twilight Drover, when our tokens start dying or leaving the battlefield, it can buff itself up and create us some more tokens. Astronaut's Altar for mana. Campaign of Vengeance for when we attack. Maw of the Obsidian to buff up our entire board. Gallows Warden to buff up spirits we control. Patron of the Kitsune to, of course, give us even more life. Geist Honored Monk to be just a big creature with vigilance and to create some flyers. Tesa, Envoy of Ghost, vigilance, protection from creatures, and to kind of direct our opponents away from us. Because if they do end up, if a creature they control does end up dealing combat damage to us, that creature is then destroyed, and then we create a 1/1 with white and black spirit creature token flying. Anyways, Windrisk Kites, you know the deal. Blighted Steep to gain life. Isolated Watchtower, you know. Vault of the Archangel, buff our stuff up with Death Touch and Lifelink. Springjack Pasture to give us some mana fixing with goats. And then Plains and Swamps, however many you like. I have balanced out. I know I think so that's going to be the end for Shadrix Silver Quill. I hope you guys enjoyed this EDH guide. If you did, please subscribe. We're only 2 away from 25 subscribers. Thank you for all 23 people who are currently subscribed. You know the deal with commenting. You're the first one to comment. Get to name a commander, and I will fulfill my end of the bargain and dedicate a future episode to that commander. But comment anyways. I like feedback. As y'all know, I encourage it. So please comment. Leave a like on this video and my other videos. Go watch them. They're still pretty cool. Oh, don't forget to share this video along with my other videos with other people via social media or whatever. And I think that's it. Oh, don't forget to hit the notification bell, that way you don't miss more of my content. And that's going to be it. I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.